Hey everyone, it's been a while since I did a live stream, a ministry update. I've been very busy in my personal life, and so I haven't gotten the opportunity to do any live streams. But I wanted to give you a quick ministry update and just say hello to my subscribers, to my new subscribers. Lord willing, when this busy season dies down, I'll get back to doing more live streams on Tuesdays, but for now I'm taking care of some important family stuff, some personal stuff, all good things, as we seek to raise our children for the Lord. So what I wanted to talk about is just some of the things that have been going on, some of the things that I've been covering, such as the election or selection of a new pope. We have President Trump going to the Middle East, which is a really big story prophetically. Today, Trump announced that he was going to invest in building our version, America's version of the Iron Dome. And then we also have a rally that a lot of people do not know about being held in the Texas state capital of Austin, where Andy Woods and Pastor Sharam Hadian are speaking regarding the Islamization of Texas. This is typically not something a lot of people are talking about, or a lot of pastors talk about. Brandon House from Worldview Weekend has been covering it. Annie Cyrus, who was born and raised in Iran, she was a child bride. She grew up in Islam and is now escaped to America and became a Christian. She has an awesome blog covering a lot of these topics. It's something that is not on a lot of people's radar here in America. And I think there's something to be said about prosperity. Sometimes when we have what seems to be prosperity here in America, we tend to get comfortable, we tend to get complacent, and we can't do that. This is a spiritual war, brothers and sisters. We need to engage in this battle day in and day out. And so I wanted to come on here and just kind of let everybody see my face and just let everybody know I'm still here. Obviously, I'm putting out videos and making comments and stuff, but there's just something special about live streams and connecting with my subscribers, connecting with the family of God. Um, so yeah, regarding well, let's just first start with the Pope, right? A lot of people have asked me what do I think of the Pope? Being a former Roman Catholic, it's quite clear the Pope itself, the position of a Pope is unbiblical. There is no successor of Peter. Um, the original Christian church, the early church, was a New Testament Bible based church based in the scriptures. And what we see happening regarding what has become Roman Catholicism is nothing more than paganized Christianity. Once Constantine decided for political reasons to legalize Christianity, that merged pagan Rome with Christianity, and it became pagan Christianity, something that had apostatized, something that drove the church into the dark ages. But there was always faithful Bible believing Christians within the church. So the Pope, the priests, I have been doing lots of videos on Roman Catholicism. If you haven't checked out my playlist on Roman Catholicism, check it out. I just started it. It has all my YouTube shorts, all my teaching from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, a direct quotes, comparing it to the Bible. So, what do I think of the Pope? Well, the Pope is the position itself is not biblical, but what Pope Leo will do in the future has prophetic implications. It will, I see him as a religious leader, but I also see him as a political leader because the things he does, it does carry weight. I mean, you have billions of Catholics in the world. You have you see what Pope Francis did in connecting with the World Economic Forum, pushing globalism, pushing climate change. This Pope seems to be more traditional, a traditional Catholic, more of a, they would say, a humble Pope. But um, I think we need to wait and see what's going to happen. The Bible talks about the false prophet in Revelation 13 and how he will give credibility to the Antichrist. Again, this is all future in the tribulation after the rapture, but it could be this this pope could be the false prophet. We don't know. Um, this man is said to perform signs and wonders. to amaze the people. And we know that Revelation talks about the harlot and how this false dominant, false church, the false religion, will help bolster the Antichrist popularity and fame, creating this beast system that will rule the whole world. So we need to be looking at what the Pope says. We need to be looking at where the Pope goes, what he does. Is he going to go to the Abraham house like Pope Francis did? Is he going to try to unite all the faiths? What is he talking about unity? Is he talking about peace? Is he talking about ecumenicalism? All things like that we need to be paying attention to. Then, when we talk about peace, a good transition, Donald Trump signing all these deals worth trillions and trillions of dollars in the Middle East. I really advise you to go to Annie Cyrus's Substack. On her Substack, she has written a bunch of articles exposing what is the worldview of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, and when you understand that the worldview is Islamic and you understand what Islam teaches, okay, um, that is a scary thing. Okay, whether you think it's just a business deal or not, and Trump is a wonderful deal maker and businessman, that's all great. But we have to ask the tougher questions. What does this mean for America's future? At what cost does doing business with these Arab nations, these Muslim nations, what is it going to cost America? And Annie does a really good job breaking it down, giving you all the facts in her Substack on why this was probably not a good idea. And I understand why Trump did it. He wants to be known as the peacemaker. He wants to bring that money flow back to America to make America that superpower. Strength through power, power through strength. And so I understand why he did it, but I think regarding Islam itself and just the cost of the infiltration, the companies that are attached, I think in the long run, it's going to prove prophetically to be destructive. And I've also commented on that regarding my YouTube shorts that I put out. Today, regarding Islam, a lot of people don't realize that it is gaining greater ground in America like we've never seen before. There are lots of mosques and in Texas, particularly near Sugarland, where Dr. Andy Woods is. They are gaining more ground, more influence. A lot of people think that Islam is a religion of peace. However, when you study the true teachings of the Quran, you understand that it's not. It's a religion of conquest for Allah. Their God is Allah, not the same God as the Bible by any means. But they conquer through first, starting just by immigrating and then taking over government jobs, taking over the school curriculum, and that Annie Cyrus does a wonderful job explaining that. Shahram Hadian is an expert. Usama Dakdok is an expert in this, where you can go to their websites and they explain through their podcasts and their sermons what exactly is taking place here in America. And the more I listen to them and educate myself, the more I believe that Islam could potentially take over America. It could happen before the church is gone, or it could happen after the church is gone. We see in the Old Testament how Israel was always judged by the enemy nations. So it could very well happen to America. What a lot of people don't understand is that even though President Trump is calling for a golden age, America still has a huge problem with spiritual depravity and moral depravity. That has not changed. Our sin problem here in America has not changed. We could change our economic status. We could change our military status. We could change our political status. But our moral and our spiritual problem still exists. And we know how wicked America has become. In fact, with Trump being president, a lot of things have become exposed through Doge and all of these investigations. I think we're finding out just how wicked America has been, how politicians have been, stealing tax payer money to fund their own interests. So we're just seeing the depth and depravity of America, and I believe God is showing us this so that we could pray and reach people with the gospel, reach individuals with the gospel. Do I believe there's going to be a revival in America? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't see a last days revival other than the actual tribulation period. But in the church age, I don't think there will be. But I mean, I could be wrong. There is a revival in the sense of people waking up. There's a revival in the sense of people understanding they need God. There's a war between good and evil. There's a spiritual war. I just posted today on Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan. A lot of you may not know who Sean Ryan is, but he has over 4 million subscribers. He does a lot of cutting edge interviews. He just recently interviewed Tim Tebow about sex trafficking and child trafficking. That really gripped me when I heard that. And he just did an interview that I posted with Tucker Carlson about how he came to Christ. Now, regarding that, I did post my commentary. There are a lot of celebrities. There are a lot of people that are well named people on the internet, social media, whatever, claiming to have come to Christ, had some sort of conversion. But what really, how can I put this? What really causes the red flags to rise in my mind is, what do they say about Christ? What do they say about the Bible? And a lot of these people they talk a lot about their personal experiences and their feelings in some sort of mystical way, but I don't hear a lot of the gospel. Like, Jesus Christ did this for me. I repented of my sin and trusted in Christ. You just don't hear it. You don't hear words like born again or saved or any of that. And it just causes a lot of red flags in my mind. And so we have to be careful, because there's a lot out there on social media that, uh, you know, says it's Christian and says this person came to Christ. And then so they have these huge followings that gain credibility within the Christian community. And people are not putting their discernment caps on and asking the important questions. Okay, where is Jesus in this? Where is Christ in this? Is this really of God? And of course, we continue to pray for these people. We hope that they would get saved, but we shouldn't just, right away just say, okay, that person's saved because they said they're saved, right? What are they saying? Listen to what comes out of their mouth, right? What do they advocate for? Who are they joining arms with? Things like that. So, a couple other things here that I wanted to bring to your attention. I've been posting a lot of things to my blog, ripsterforchrist.blogspot.com. It's more of a theological blog where I take really hard hitting articles from other sources, the best stuff that I know would really feed you spiritually, and I put it on there. So check out my blog if you haven't. I also have an Instagram page that the Lord is really growing amongst people that are on Instagram. Um, of course, if you're not sub to my Telegram page, make sure to do that. I post the majority of my stuff on Telegram, and also my X page. Don't have quite a large following on X, but I do post a lot and repost a lot of information regarding current events on that as well. Let's see if there's anything else that I needed to bring up today. Let me just go back to my Telegram. Oh yeah, today I heard that Kay Arthur, if you remember Kay Arthur, the great Bible teacher, she passed away. She went home to be with the Lord at the age of 91. Um, so we lost another saint. I mean, you probably would not have been able to walk into a Christian bookstore without seeing Kay Arthur books all over the place. Um, yeah, make sure to also, if you're a subscriber to my Telegram, go on my Telegram and take the polls. I generate a lot of polls, and today's poll, the question was, do you believe that the devil is actively working to make becoming a Christian or following Christ more obscure, less defined, with no clear gospel presentation? And right now, it's 100% of the vote. People say yes. There's a lot of people that say, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christ follower, and then you dig a little deeper and you find out that they converted to Catholicism, which teaches a false gospel, or a mystical Jesus, or a New Age Jesus. So we have to realize the devil's working overtime to kind of blur those lines, and we as Christians have to preach the truth, defend sound doctrine, And remember that true unity can only be found in biblical doctrine. True unity can't just be found under phrases or movements. It can only be found in the Bible. Okay. I also posted a lot of intriguing articles from Rapture Ready, Harbingers.com, Technocracy with Patrick Wood. Um, Obviously, Brennan House is constantly putting out really good videos, cutting edge stuff. Um, let's see. Another thing I like to do on my YouTube page is I talk about so many things that are serious that people can become overwhelmed and depressed. So I always try to add a little daily humor, things that'll just make you laugh, kind of uplift your spirit, things like that, and just try to uplift you also through the daily devotions that I post, the daily memes that I post to get you thinking, to sharpen you. So I try to balance my ministry out, not just posting bad news all the time, but having humor, encouraging, uplifting words, lots of scripture, things like that. Um, let's see here. Yeah, I think that's all I have. I just wanted to give everybody an update, kind of what I've been doing lately. Kind of more of the same regarding all my platforms, but just really busy in my personal life, which it's just been a blessing to see my kids grow and flourish, and just spend that quality time with them. So yeah, Lord willing, when I get a chance to do another live stream, I will. But I just wanted to give this ministry update tonight, which is Tuesday night, May 20th. Yeah, Israel turned 77 years old this year. Well, the nation, since it was founded, well, I shouldn't say founded, but since it was declared independent in 1948, it is officially 77 years old. So praise the Lord for that. We know that Jesus will come back and redeem the Jewish nation, that Israel is not replaced by the church. And we need to continue to pray for Israel. We need to continue to pray for the relationship between Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu, and that the right decisions are made, right? Because prophetically, we see where things are going. And we know that whatever happens in the Middle East, what happens with Israel, has huge implications for what happens here in America. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of things that I would want to discuss with you, but I just wanted to come on here, say hello, tell everybody I'm still here. I really miss you in the live streams. Lord willing, we'll get back in the Bible and start teaching verse by verse again. But until then, I want to thank you for praying, for sharing my content, and for supporting me and my family in the ministry. Until next time, God bless and Maranatha.